And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. And now, these messages.
Here are a few words about Levi's jeans and cords.
Go straight. Go straight. Okay. Go down. Go down. Say what? Go down. Get down. Go down. Oh, go down.
I got it. You get it.
Levi's.
Hey, I bet you can't say the floppy flat fruit snacks from Sunkist. The floppy flat snoot. What? Sunkist fruit rolls are made with real fruit, and they're real fun to eat. Flip-flop fruit snacks from Sunkist. But if you ask for fruit rolls, you may not get Sunkist, so you can just say the Fracky Fruit Fracks of Sunkist. Sunkist fruit rolls. The floppy flat fruit snacks from Sunkist.
Get up! Get up! There's gonna be a shootout! A shootout between the Gunfighter and Rockjaw Jim, strongest jaw in town.
Gunfighter. The Gunfighter's chewing delicious Hubba Bubba. It starts soft and stays soft. Chew after chew after chew.
Just start chewing. It's Gum Jam. Looks like Rockjaw got Lockjaw.
Hubba Bubba with amazing no-stick bubbles. Starts soft, stays soft.
Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner will return after these messages.
Turn to the voice of experience. Turn to the news you can trust. The CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. When it's important, America turns to CBS News.
This is CBS.
I'm John Goldsmith, and on our next Capital Edition, we're going sailing. Still a bit chilly for that? That's the point of the story and the sport. We'll meet a congressman from Texas, but you can just call him a big brother. And Scrapple with 2 eggs over easy is on the brunch menu as we visit the ever-popular Florida Avenue Grill, Sunday morning at 10:30 on Channel 9.
James Brown and Coach Morgan Wooten with Hoops Highlights, Saturday.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner.
It's cartoon gold for young and old. It's the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show. Bugs is hot, but Coyote's not. And Roadrunners go, go, go. And they go beep, 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 boom, mama, mama. Go, 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 Bugs. The famous cartoon show's the only way to go. It's the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show.
Sylvester and Tweety, Daffy and Speedy will return after these messages.
Murky! Rainbow Bright has a new cereal with fruit flavor and bright colors.
Colors? Let's see.
New Rainbow Bright brand cereal. Little rainbows of sweet fruit flavor. A yummy part of this complete breakfast.
That aisle, murk out.
A gloom cloud. No match for Rainbow Bright.
Oh, no.
We're full of colors.
Idiot, we hate color.
No murked out breakfast for us. It's a rainbow of fruit flavor. Rainbow Bright.
Everybody's got a little smile inside. Sneaks out every once in a while. Like when you're eating a Rolo, it's too hard to hide. 'Cause Rolo is a whole roll of smiles.
Chewy caramel, rich milk chocolate. Rolo is a whole roll of smiles.
'Cause Rolo is a whole roll of smiles. Rolo is a whole roll of smiles.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner will return after these messages.
Hey, I bet you can't say the floppy flat fruit snacks from Sunkist. The floppy flat snoot. What? Sunkist fruit rolls are made with real fruit, and they're real fun to eat. Flip-flop fruit snacks from Sunkist. But if you ask for fruit rolls, you may not get Sunkist, so you can just say the Fracky Fruit Fracks of Sunkist.
Here are a few words about Levi's jeans and cords.
Levi's.
Huh?
The new Legoland Firehouse 1. You can build the firehouse and even close the door. The building's only started because there's more and more and more. The roof can make your chopper blades to get you in the air. The sides can make a fireboat in case you're floating there. And when you've built what's on the box, it's time for something new. Dreamin' Up's the best part of Legoland and you. There are 26 town sets you can collect, each sold separately. Firehouse 1 is part of the Legoland Town Collection and has hundreds of bricks for building from Lego Systems.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. And now, these messages.
Let's lighten up. Three Musketeers. Take off and lighten up on a soft and puffy, smooth and fluffy cloud of chocolate pleasure. Three Musketeers. Let's lighten up. Come on, let's lighten up. You can take a flight with a chocolate bite. Three Musketeers, so delicious and delightful. A chocolate cloud in every bite. Full. Lighten up on a chocolate cloud. Lighten up.
All across America, an amazing phenomenon is happening. With Zip sneakers, kids are getting dressed in a flash. Stylish straps make zips easy to get into. And they come in all these flashy colors. Zips by Stride Rite. They not only go on in a flash, they go off in a flash. Now Zip stickers are available free at participating Stride Rite stores. No purchase necessary.
Monday at 8, Kate Jackson and Bruce Boxleitner starred an hour of intrigue on Scarecrow and Mrs. King, followed at 9 by the sophisticated comedy of Kate and Ellie. Then at 11, a complete look at the day's events on Eyewitness News Nightcast, the one to watch.
In the news, dealing with nuclear weapons. President Reagan says the United States must build more nuclear weapons to be in a good position to negotiate with the Soviets next week about having fewer of them. We'll be back with arms talks in the news.
High C. High C. It tastes so wonderfully.
Wonderfully.
And all that vitamin C. You're gonna love High C.
With High C fruit drinks, you get a full day supply of vitamin C and a real fruit taste that's so cool and so delicious.
Dum-dooby-doo-wah, dum-dooby-doo-wah.
You're gonna love High C.
And now, nuclear weapons in the news. Ever since the first atomic bomb was dropped on Japan nearly 40 years ago, people have been talking about doing away with nuclear weapons because of the massive destruction they cause. But since the United States and the Soviet Union both have nuclear weapons, each side has felt it had to keep building more of them to offset what each sees as a threat from the other side. There have been many talks about limiting these weapons and several agreements, but it's been 13 years since a pact has been approved by both sides. The next round of nuclear weapons talks opens next week in Geneva, Switzerland. But while the U.S. is talking with the Soviets about reducing the numbers of nuclear weapons, President Reagan is urging Congress to approve funding for construction of 21 new MX missiles. These missiles would each carry several nuclear warheads. Mr. Reagan insists that a refusal by Congress to approve the new missiles would weaken this country's hand at the negotiating table. Meanwhile, research continues on what are called Star Wars defensive weapons. These new devices would operate in space, and President Reagan hopes they could use advanced technology to destroy nuclear weapons in space after launching, but before they could reach American territory. The Soviets, who are believed to lag behind the U.S. in developing space weapons, want the research to stop. I'm Christopher Glenn with Nuclear Weapons Talks in the News.
Are you looking for an adventure that's more than just the fad of the moment? Well, join today's Campfire for girls and boys. Come on, share the real-life adventure of Campfire.
On